This is a napkin ring that I'm making. I took a piece of this faux leather fabric, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of soft on the underside. And then I glued it to this leather right here. And we're going to cut that out and do a stitch line around it. This is another one. This is kind of what those layers look like. If it'll focus. There we go. And this is white stitching. And there's a button stud right there. But for this one, we are going to do beige. So let's cut it out. So you're going to want to use a very sharp blade for this so that you get the nice clean cut that you're looking for. There we go. Now we're going to round these corners. I'm using a Weaver Leather 15mm corner knife for this. They have all different sizes on their website, but this is just a good middle ground one. Works for a lot of different projects if you can't afford to get all of them at once. There's that. To glue this together, I used Barge all-purpose cement. There she blows. So I'm going to mark for this oblong right here. This is my napkin ring blank. So I'll just line it up, make a mark for the button stud, and then the oblongs. There's that. Now this oblong is 1 inch. I don't have that, I have a 1/2 inch. So what we'll do is just do one and then step it out and do the other one. Sweet. Can't even tell. So to make a stitch line, I'm going to use this wing divider. I have it set to just slightly more than 1/8 of an inch. This material is super hard to mark up. So I'm going to do the best I can and just have to see if I can actually see the line by the time I'm done. There's a little something, not much. There we go. I'll put my poundo board on here. I'm using a 5mm diamond chisel set, also from Weaver Leather Supply. They got a couple different sizes. I think 3mm, 4mm. This is the 5, and then there's one bigger after this. So then we're just gonna make our chisel line all the way down. There we are. That just so happened to match up perfectly at the end there, which I don't think has ever happened before. So that's great. All right, let's get on to sewing. All right, got my beige. I think the general rule for how much thread you need is like twice the length of the total distance you're stitching. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I just kind of eyeball it and say, yep, that looks like it'll be enough. Cut it off. That was a horrible cut. There we go. Thread my needles up. This is 1mm Ritza Tiger thread. I got all sorts of different colors and thicknesses for the thread. Here we go. Usually when I stitch, I push them through at the same time. It makes it go a little faster, but I find that with the diamond chisel there's not as much room in the hole, and I don't really want to stretch it out. That would make it look kind of bad, so I just kind of do one at a time. It's going to be a lot of stitching, so if y'all don't want to watch the whole thing, you should probably skip ahead to when we put hardware in. Alrighty, we are going to clip these ends here, tie them off, and we're almost done. So I like to clip these to a more manageable length, and then I do a square knot. Which is probably backwards in the camera, I'm not sure. Do right over left, and then left over right. It. And we'll burn these edges down. Got nice and flat there. I think on this other one I just did, I didn't tie it, I just burned that down. Usually I tie a knot and burn it down like I did here. That is more visible. But this isn't any heavy duty piece, so I think this would have been just fine. So now we're going to go over to the marble here and pound down this stitch line. And just make it look a tad bit better. There we are. Now we're going to add a button stud and we will be all set. This is a 6mm button stud. Get your little screw end here, shove it in there, and just screw it up. If you really want it to stay, you could add a dab of glue in this hole here, and then that would make sure it wasn't going anywhere, but I think this will be just fine. There you have it.